Here are the top 3 NFL futures bets for 2023. Welcome to Juice Bets. My name is Trevor, and today we're going to be moving away from the plus EV mathematical data backed betting. We're going to be looking at some fun futures bets for NFL while still remaining profitable, still looking to find value, line shopping, all of that using OddsJam. Okay, so first of all, if you haven't used OddsJam yet, check out the link down below. You can get a 90-day money back guarantee. So try it out for 3 months. If you don't like it, if you're not making money, you can get all your money back. So try that out, link down below. Okay, so let's look at futures betting. So if you're not familiar, futures bets are wagers placed on events where they're going to win the championship, win the MVP, something in the future, a long-term goal, long-term results, right? And so obviously these futures bets are usually, your money is locked up for a long period of time. So if we're looking at tips and tricks for futures bets, I would definitely say that the main thing is, since you're locking up your money for so long, right? Like if you're betting on the Super Bowl winner, that money in that bet will be locked up until February next year, right? So that's almost 8 months. So you want to make sure that you're prioritizing value, okay? And so when I say prioritizing value, I mean, like, if we're looking at, let's get it over to the NFL. This is the OddsJam Sportsbook screen here, and this allows you to line shop really nicely. So let's look at the Super Bowl for a quick example to start off. And so when we're looking at the Super Bowl lines, obviously it varies across tons of different sports books, right? And this is the best way to line shop, is using the OddsJam Sportsbook screen, where you can line shop for the best odds, okay? So let's say that you want to place a bet on the Cincinnati Bengals to win the Super Bowl, right? If you have these sports books, let's say you're on Bwin or BWin, if you're on there and you want to place it, you get plus 900. But on all these other books, on DraftKings, you can get plus 1100, right? On FanDuel, you get plus 1000. So you can get a lot better value if you are line shopping, if you're looking for value in that way. So focus on the value and prioritize taking longer odds if you can, right? Because you have to think about the opportunity cost of your money being locked up for so long, because that $100, $1,000, whatever it is that you're betting on futures, you're not going to be able to use that as volume on other bets. So in general, I would always try to stick to at least odds that are above plus 300, around there. I do have one bet that isn't, because I do want one that, feels like it's definitely going to be a winner. But in general, if I would at least go over 50% of your bets, try to have them at longer odds. And you'll see in some of my bets here, my last one, it's a plus 800, right? So it's a solid bet. Like, I'm going to be locking up my money for that long, and so I want a good payout if it does win, right? Like, I'd rather take on that risk. So those are the two tricks: find value, line shop, and also try to take higher odds. So for my 3 plays, the first one, we're going to be picking the Detroit Lions to win the NFC North division, okay? And so this is the first one. This one, you're not getting value, right? You're going to be locking up your money for a long period of time, and you're not getting long odds. You're not getting plus 500 or anything. But I do think that this is a super, super solid bet. So by far, the Lions are the most talented team in the division, right? The Vikings, the Bears, the Packers are all on a decline. The Packers have lost their quarterback. Their team is in shambles. They've got tons of young guys now, and they're definitely in a rebuild period. They have a good defense still, but they are completely in a rebuild. Their skill position players are all over the place. The Packers are not there. The Bears, same thing. They were the worst team in the league last year. They really haven't improved that much. Justin Fields is a great fantasy quarterback, but is he really good to actually win games? I don't think so. The Minnesota Vikings. Now, I actually was between the Vikings and the Lions, but this morning I saw this news. The Vikings no longer have Dalvin Cook, and they also got rid of Thielen, Eric Kendricks, and Patrick Peterson. You could argue that all of these guys are past their primes, but these are still solid mainstay pieces in the Vikings, which has made them so successful over the years. Not successful in the playoffs, but successful in the division, right? I mean, they've been battling the Packers in the division for years now. They've been pretty good. But with that said, the Vikings are on the decline, and the Lions are basically on an upswing. They've been terrible for so many years, and finally last year they got their swagger. They've got awesome new young players. They're young, they're hungry with momentum from last season, And I really do think that it's the Lions' year to take this division. I don't think this is going to be a great division. So it's going to be easy, I think, for the Lions to take it. So obviously, if you can, take it on FanDuel, plus 145. It's the best value you can find out there. But yeah, in general, take the best value you can. So that's my first pick, Lions, plus 145 to win the NFC North. Okay? Next play. We're sticking in the NFC. And quickly, before I go into this next play, all of these plays, except for, the first two plays are in the NFC. And the reason why is because if you look at the AFC, we've got Chiefs, Bills, Bengals, Jets, Ravens, Jags, Dolphins, Chargers. These 8 teams here are incredibly good, elite, solid teams. Whereas if we take a look at the NFC conference, we have about 3 elite teams at the top, right? We've got the Eagles, we've got the Niners, and we have the Cowboys, okay? Lions are next, but I wouldn't call them elite yet. So the NFC is easier, in my opinion, to pick division winners and conference winners. And that's why, for my second pick, I'm taking the San Francisco 49ers to win the NFC Championship at plus 425. About 400 on most books, but you can find 425 on DraftKings and a few others, okay? So, Niners plus 400 to win the NFC. The main reason here is that the division is a joke, right? They're probably going to be the number 1 seed, and if not, they're number 2 seed with a very easy road, okay? If we look at their schedule, the Niners are about middle of the pack. So their schedule's not that difficult. It should be way harder for the team that they were last year. Their players are healthy again. They have options between 2 quarterbacks, not elite quarterbacks, but it's okay because their team is a full team, right? The Niners have an incredible defense. Let's look at this. And an incredible offense. Their defense last year, number 1 in points per game against, number 2 in yards per game against, number 1 in points per play, number 3 in yards per play. They absolutely kill you on the defense. And then on offense, it's right there too. Points per game, number 6, yards per game, number 5, points per play, number 4, yards per play, number 5. They are incredible on both sides of the ball, and you know why? It's because of their coaching and their skill position players. They have that solid. They have their solid lines, right? Obviously, their defensive line and offensive line are great, but it's the skill position players matched with their coaching and their creativity. They are an absolute force. Okay, so the Niners, they have a relatively easy schedule for what they should have. They're a complete team, healthy. And if you look at their division, Rams, Cardinals, and Seahawks. So Seahawks are a solid team. I don't think they're going to be a problem for the Niners in the division. Rams and Cardinals should be 4 easy wins right there. So I would anticipate the Niners are going to obviously win their division. They're probably going to have a bye. If not, they'll play an easy team in the first round, someone like the Giants or something. Then they'll play a couple tough games to win the NFC, right? So obviously the Eagles and the Cowboys are definitely solid, but the Eagles and Cowboys, they're going to be battling it out in their division. They're going to have a tougher road. So I'm taking the Niners to win the division. I mean, this is all speculation, but in general, I just think that it makes sense. You can get a little bit more value than the Eagles, right? You're getting plus 400. So it makes it better to tie up that money. So that's my second pick. Okay. Let's move into our final pick, and one that is longer odds and more fun. We're going to be looking at the MVP winner, okay? And obviously there's tons of plays that go down here, and you can get crazy odds on fun ones like Anthony Richardson and some of these fun rookies and stuff. I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to go with a player that has been basically incredible every single year he's been in the league. He's had some issues with injuries, but he's finally back. He put together a great season last year, and that's Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is arguably, the best quarterback in the league. He's a complete quarterback. He is smart with the ball. He has a great arm and an incredible offense surrounding him and a great team. So when you're looking to pick an MVP, oh, and by the way, this is plus 800 on Burrow. When you're looking to find an MVP winner, obviously you want to get a quarterback, right? Because if you look at the past MVPs, it's all quarterbacks, right? The quarterbacks win MVP awards. So you need a quarterback on a good team, which is also another thing. You want a good team. So if we look at these first, few options here, I would say realistically the options for MVP, barring someone else coming in, having a great season, which happens, but Mahomes, Burrow, Allen, Hurts. potentially Rodgers and Jackson, and maybe Trevor Lawrence. But other than that, I think those are the main solid ones. And so let's look through that. Patrick Mahomes, he's probably going to be overlooked because he's always in contention, right? Josh Allen has the Madden curse now. Justin Herbert, he can definitely put up the stats, but I don't know if the Chargers are going to be that elite team this year. I think Jalen Hurts is the one competition in like that Burrow has for this award. But I'm going to give it to Burrow because, on average, without injury, he's going to average like 40 touchdowns and 10 interceptions and 5,000 yards and potentially have the number 1 seed in the AFC. So if he does that, he's going to win the award. And I think that is very attainable. And at plus 800, I guarantee you 4 weeks into the season when the Bengals start off 3-1 or 4-0 and Burrow's firing on all cylinders, his odds are going to be 2 or 3 to 1. And so right now is a great time to get money in on Burrow. You lock up your money for a long period of time, but you get 800 odds, okay? So those are the 3 picks. Lions to win the NFC South, Niners to win the NFC, and Burrow to win MVP. So there are my picks for the futures for NFL. I might come out with another video closer to the season when I have some more picks, some more fun picks. But in general, the main tips to take away: prioritize getting value and take longer odds if you can. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you tail these picks. Like the video to see more, and I'll see you next time.